Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Paulina and today we're going to be talking about pregnancy and all the things that come with pregnancy. I have a lot of friends and family members nowadays who are so ready to be pregnant because I'm pregnant, or they just want a baby because their friends or their family members are having babies. And every single time I'm just like, no you don't. No, you don't want to be pregnant. There's so much videos out there that glorify pregnancy, and pregnancy is a wonderful, beautiful, amazing process, and you get a baby afterwards, but there's so much more that happens behind the scenes that no one really wants to talk about. So that's why I'm here today. So pregnancies have trimesters. So this video, I'm going to talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end, and birth. So let's just go over all of it. At the beginning of pregnancy, you're nauseous, you're vomiting sometimes you're violently throwing up. There are some girls who can't go to work, can't leave their house because of how violently they're throwing up, and sometimes they gotta get put on medication because of how bad they're throwing up. You're bloated and you're gassy all the time. You're so tired, you're tired all the time at the beginning of the pregnancy. I could not wake up in the morning to work out anymore. I was so tired, but at the same time I was having insomnia and it was really hard to sleep even though I was really tired. And then sometimes I would fall asleep just to be woken up because I had to pee. And that's another thing, you pee all the time during pregnancy. You have to pee like every hour on the hour, and it gets worse throughout your pregnancy. Sometimes you break out. I'm breaking out so bad on my forehead. You're emotional, you cry over nothing sometimes. And I was super emotional for days for absolutely no reason. You're craving. You can kind of crave throughout the whole pregnancy. So that's all I can really think of at the beginning of pregnancy, and it's not too bad, but it depends on the woman. Sometimes they got it easy, sometimes they don't. Let's talk about pregnancy once you start getting the belly. So you get blood draws throughout the pregnancy. So if you don't like needles, you don't like getting your blood drawn, you haven't had a tattoo, yeah, it's gonna suck because you get your blood drawn throughout the pregnancy. Your clothes stop fitting, then you're kind of confined to big t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, leggings, sweats. And I always suggest never buying pregnancy clothes, maternity clothes, because honestly it's really freaking expensive and you're only gonna wear it sometimes. Just go buy like an extra large or large piece of clothing. It's gonna be a lot cheaper. Let your friends buy the maternity clothes for you. Save your money for diapers and formula and all the baby stuff that you're gonna need. So you don't need to be wasting your money on maternity clothes. Unless you got the money for it, then go for it. But if you're a normal person, I honestly don't suggest it. As your stomach gets bigger, you get this dark line that goes on your belly, and that doesn't go away for a really long time. Your boobs get bigger, the skin around your nipples, they get bigger and darker, and that doesn't go away after you have the baby, not for quite some time. At one point, the baby is gonna start kicking. It's gonna be like the coolest thing, but as you get bigger and bigger and there's less room for the baby to be moving around, that thing's gonna kick your spine, your ribs, your organs. And speaking of organs, all your organs from your stomach get kind of pushed up into your chest, and then that's why pregnant women kind of are like short of breath, because all of their organs are squished up in their chest, and your rib cage, they expand, and that never goes back, you guys. Being full pregnant, full belly, it feels like a 40-pound backpack strapped to your chest. Because of how heavy it is, that can cause hemorrhoids sometimes, you guys. Some girls get hemorrhoids inside their rectum, some girls get it outside their rectums. That never goes away. It settles down throughout life, but it never goes away. And there's other complications during pregnancy too. Pregnant diabetes, I think the actual term is like gestational diabetes or something like that. I'm just gonna call it pregnant diabetes. It's a special kind of diabetes that you can develop only during pregnancy. Another complication with pregnancy is PUP. So that is when you're like ridiculously itchy, and for me anyways, I scratched until I bled. It was so bad. I scratched my tummy, I scratched my arms, my legs. I have the scars from it, and it sucks. Like, I'm more sad about those scars than I am about my stretch marks. I don't give a shit about my stretch marks. And then last of all, people are always going to be giving their opinion about, oh, this is your the number 3 pregnancy? Oh, like, they just always give their opinion, always have something to say, no matter how many times you've done this, no matter who you are, no matter who they are, friend, family, coworker, everyone's always going to have an opinion. Moving on to birth. I actually couldn't even really get excited right away when I found out I was pregnant with my third because I was just so focused on the birth part. From start to finish, you guys, from having your contractions to pushing the thing out, it fucking hurts throughout the whole fucking time. Contractions, they hurt. For me anyways, it felt like someone was literally squeezing my spine. They just wrapped around my tummy and my ribs and my spine. It hurt, and it got more and more intense, and I got the epidural. I don't know how some women out there can do it naturally. That's awesome. There's plenty of girls out there who are like, oh, I had a totally fine labor. That's awesome. Good for you, you fucking unicorn. Normal people, it fucking hurts, and most people get the epidural. The epidural is like, you know, this long of a needle going directly into your spine, and you feel it the whole fucking time. Doesn't even matter how much they numb you, you still feel something going into your spine, and it feels like a fucking burning sensation. Ugh. Again, complications during birth. Sometimes the baby comes out and it's not breathing. Sometimes the baby comes out and there's a cord wrapped around its neck. Sometimes you gotta go in for an emergency C-section because the baby's coming out feet first. These are real life complications that any woman is able to get, no matter how healthy, no matter how unhealthy, no matter how big. I've met plenty of really healthy moms who still ended up having to get a C-section because of just unknown complications. I really hope I don't have to get a C-section. I will cry. Surgery scares me. And last of all, with birth, your vagina rips, you guys. Sometimes all the way down to your fucking asshole. Not exaggerating, it hurts. It fucking hurts. So with that, let's move into afterbirth. So after you push the baby out, after your vagina has ripped, you don't give birth once, you give birth twice. You give birth to a human being, and you give birth to this saggy thing that your human being baby was attached to for 9 months. That one doesn't hurt, it just kind of groups out of you. Your vagina is just kind of out there in the open for everyone, but thankfully they're not focused on you, they're focused on the baby, so the doctor's just sewing you up really quick while all the nurses and stuff are cleaning up the baby and making sure like you're good and the baby's good. But after you're stitched up, you actually can't wipe. They give you this little ketchup bottle spray looking thing, and you just fill it up with water and you spray yourself down. You can't wipe. If you pee, you can't wipe. If you poop, you can't wipe. Usually after birth, for about 2 weeks, you're depressed. Postpartum depression. It's totally normal. If it goes past the 2-week mark, then you're actually depressed. And it totally makes sense because you just pushed out a fucking human out of your vagina. It hurts. It's a lot to take on. Your emotions and your hormones are all over the fucking place. After birth, you don't sleep. You kind of just don't sleep for a couple of years, a couple of months, a couple of years, depending if you have your kids back to back like I did. Something that happens a few months after birth that I realized happened both times is your hair falls out. So throughout your pregnancy, your hair kind of stops falling out. That's why it's more healthier, more full. But yeah, then it falls out about 4 months after, and it's a lot, you guys. I didn't know about that, but it's totally normal. So if you are breastfeeding, the baby is literally sucking the life out of you. Your boobs are gonna be super full. They're gonna feel like sandbags strapped to your chest, and then when they are empty, they're gonna be saggy little pancake boobs. That's awesome. You get a baby after all of this madness, but you get this thing that just doesn't do anything. It just cries and eats and shits, and that's fucking it. And then it's 1000% vulnerable and 1000% dependent on you, and it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to deal with. And with that, with parenthood, it is the hardest, thankless, most underpaid job you will ever have, being a parent. You come second. You will always come second now for 18 plus years. I let people know that you shouldn't go into pregnancy and parenthood expecting thank yous, because you're not gonna get them. And sometimes that causes resentment. I grew up with parents who were just calling me ungrateful literally my whole life, and I didn't know the value of that until I became a parent. But I don't put that on my kids like how my parents put that on me, because I don't think that's right. I love being a parent. It's taught me so much. It's taught me how to be more patient, taught me how to be more reasonable, more understanding, taught me to grow up a little bit more. It's made me forgiven my parents a little bit, but at the same time not a lot, because it's like, you know, if I was able to grow the fuck up, put my life on hold, put myself on the back burner, why can't other parents do it? So I'm just like, oh, if I could do it, anyone could do it. And I always get that little reality check, because there's plenty of people out there who are still shit parents, who give their kids away to their parents, the grandparents, because they can't do it, because they still want to have life. They just give their kids up they're just not a part of their kid's life for whatever reason. Sometimes, you know, everyone has their own reasons, whatever, but I'm talking about the parents who are involved in their lives, they have their kids, and yet they still want to have their own life, like they come first. No, it's not supposed to be that way. When you have this human being that is 100% dependent on you, in my eyes, you're supposed to take care of this human being. You're supposed to love this human being no matter what. The love that I have for my kids is an unconditional love, and I never knew I could love someone from the day they were born, never knowing them, never knowing who they are, their story, anything. I didn't know that was possible until I had my kids, and I think that's an amazing thing, but I feel like a lot of parents can't do that, and a lot of parents don't understand that, and that's why I'm making this video, because a lot of the reason that people want to have babies, that I'm hearing anyways, my friends, my family, they just want something to love. They just want something to play with and to dress up, and I'm just like, no, you don't, because there's so much more to that. There's so much more. Having a kid is like a real test on yourself. It's a real test on your marriage, your relationship, your family. If you're lucky enough to have friends and family who are actually involved and who actually help, that's awesome. I don't have that. Like, I don't have that. I had that when I had the one child. The second I had the second one, no, everyone was kind of gone, or I couldn't depend on them, or they ended up talking shit about me because I would ask for help. There was this one time I said hi to my cousin. I wanted to talk to him about like fitness stuff, and the first thing he said was, "I'm not babysitting your kids for you." I wasn't even gonna, okay. Like, I've lost plenty of friends after I've had my kids. I don't talk to a lot of my family members. Parenthood is hard. Pregnancy is hard, and I feel like that it shouldn't not be glorified. I just feel like this side of the pregnancy should be talked about more, should be shown more, because I'm just so tired of people saying that I want to be pregnant, I want to have a baby, I want to have a family, I want something to play with, I want something to dress up, and it's like, no, you don't. Not because you don't, but because I can see that a good chunk of these people in my lives are not ready, and because I make it look easy or something, I don't know, but that's just what I think. Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video with giving a shout out to all the moms, dads, and parents who grew up and stepped up after they had their children, because again, a lot of parents don't do that, a lot of people can't do that, a lot of people realize after they have the baby how hard it is, and no one's ever gonna be ready for a baby. My final words is, it is an amazing, wonderful thing being a parent, being pregnant, but it's also horrible. You also have to be really, really strong. And you also have to sacrifice a lot, friends, family, time, yourself, your dreams, your life, for this baby that can't do anything for a really long time. Alright, you guys, that is it for today. I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to hear me talk about. I love that I'm pregnant, so I'm like, all I can think about is like parenting and pregnancy and all this type of stuff. So let me know, okay? If you're into this video, make sure to like it, share it. If you're into me, make sure to subscribe so you can watch me, watch my life, see what I'm up to. I'm all over the place regularly. Okay, until next time, see you guys later.